So I wanted to address clutch adjustment on the motorized bike today because I think a lot of people kind of get them messed up and they start messing with things they shouldn't. And it's really pretty straightforward. There's a little bit of finagling with it, but it's not too bad. Now, what I first want to mention is that a lot of people tend to, when they have problems with their clutch, when they're assembling it, they'll go into this cover and they'll start messing around with adjusting the clutch adjustment in there. And usually from the factory, they're totally 100% where they're supposed to be if you set your cable up right. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to address the cable. Then I would say if you do this, what I'm about to show you with the cable and it doesn't work, by all means go after it, because I've had that happen before where I have my cable right and I still have to adjust the mechanism within the clutch cover. So, but really this should work 9 times out of 10. Now, what I'm first going to mention is you want your clutch cable path to be, without any hard bends in it. Like anything like that is really going to make your clutch lever really hard to pull, and what's going to happen is where this cable seats into your handle here, it's going to just destroy that little crimped seat and it won't be any good anymore. So you want to keep it as straight as possible. So as you can see, I have it ran down here and I plan to put another zip tie holding it here, but it'll go down and around. It makes this nice S shape and comes up into this pivot. Now this pivot from the factory, and a lot of these China bikes are actually located, it seems like, in different places almost, but you want this pivot almost at a 45 degree with this back cover. Sometimes they come where they're more opened up, like towards the jug here, and that's really bad as that puts it in, again, kind of a bind. So at this 45 degree you can see the cable runs straight through. Now here is what I really want to get after with this clutch arm, and this is what causes people a lot of problems. So you want to get all the slack out of this line when you hook your little seat on here that holds the cable. If you don't get all that slack out, you won't get the full effective throw out of your clutch lever. So if you can see here, the moment I start pulling this lever, the very moment that lever down on the engine is already moving. So that's imperative, because if you have movement here and that lever is just tightening up slack in the cord, then you're or in the cable, excuse me, then you're just wasting effort. So what I like to do is, it's pretty hard to do this by yourself. It really is. So what I usually have someone do is I have this cable out and I have them holding it back with a pair of pliers. Now what I do is push this arm that has a little bit of play in it in with my thumb to get all the slack out while they're pulling this cable taut, and then I tighten this down. So then it should be good. And I like to tuck this cable in to the spring, because when you pedal it'll eventually fray this up and it'll snap off, and then if you ever have to take this off again, it'll be a real pain to hook it to just that little bit that's left, and you'll probably have to buy a new clutch cable, so you really don't want to do that. So anyway, just a way to check it is, as soon as you start pulling this clutch lever in, that arm should be moving. If it's not, then you have slack that you can take out of the system, and it's real important you have all that slack out. So, and that should work 9 times out of 10, almost always. And if it doesn't go into that cover, and there's plenty of videos on how to adjust that, but really you should never have to do that, and your clutch should be fine out of the box from the factory if you do these few steps. So anyway, there you have it.